NFTs are a scam. Scammy scam, scam can of scam. They said credit cards were a scam. Then they said online banking was a scam. They even said the internet was a scam. And you know how many people actually ever got scammed by any of those? Honestly, bloody millions actually. It's quite sad. And to be frank, at the moment NFTs are no different. There's currently an ocean of degenerates shilling worthless computer-generated JPEGs onto naive victims who think there's a chance their investment will explode astronomically to the moon. But this douchebaggery is only half the story. So why the hype? Why was NFT recently Word of the Year, even though it's quite clearly an acronym? Who even gets to decide Word of the Year? I imagine it's just a room full of all the previous countdown winners doing a vote on their little whiteboard screens. NFTs appear to attract a lot of insincerity and attention across the web as modern day scams. As I guess on the surface it just looks like people are trying really hard to decide which minutely different image they're debating on spending way too much money on. If you're anything like me, your attention gland is probably feeling a little bit swollen and tickled from all the curiosity of why something that on the surface seems so relatively boring and simple is acquiring so much hate. Usually that means they must be doing something that divides opinion, but hopefully something right too. If we were to take all of the complicated explanations and definitions and put them into some kind of weasel word bullshit extraction machine, the output for understanding NFTs would look something like this. How do they work? Obviously, software wizardry using blockchain technology. Blockchain needs a video to itself, but let's not focus on that for now. NFTs can be immediately transferred between individuals with an internet connection. It's just good to know that it means that everything is transparent and verifiable, including who created it, who owned it, and who owns it now. This importantly means that they can't be faked. This means that what they are is indisputable ownership of part of something, usually represented by an image. Now, obviously, if that something is a 1/10,000th slice of a loaf of turd, then it's not much to write home to your ma about. But what if it was something worth getting out of bed for? Which moves me on to why they exist. They exist to fulfill the intention of the NFT creator. Does the creator simply want to share their art? Do they want to make a quick buck through overhyping? Think clickbait thumbnails. But as with all of the best projects, the most successful creators intend to give value to their audience. How much value can an NFT really have, I hear you ask? Well, how big is your imagination? This is where NFTs get really interesting and, to be honest, are in dire need of a makeover since all the negative press headlines in recent times. There's a lot of value in the world that is currently absorbed by middlemen. Let's imagine the relationship between you and your favourite band, the Flameheads. You undoubtedly give a lot of value towards them, listening to them through Spotify, watching their videos on YouTube. If you're going to see them play live, you might get an Uber or a train to the venue. You might even kip at an Airbnb afterwards. And of course, no doubt you booked those tickets through Ticketmaster. I know you did, you filthy scallywag. The band then also has to pay the venue and the record label for the privilege of playing their own songs live. These facilitator companies have been making fortunes on nabbing small percentages of every transaction, which cost them virtually diddly squat to actually complete. NFTs are one of the first pieces of the puzzle that start to cut out the middlemen and bring the creator-fan relationship closer together, asking questions like, what if you owned a small portion of a thriving community? Or what if you receive royalties every time a particular song was streamed? Basically, what does the optimal creator-consumer relationship look like? If you're considering getting involved, remember to ask the same questions you would when purchasing a second-hand car, or a new pet, or a kilo of demonic chronic. These questions are, what the f*** am I trying to achieve here? Can I afford it? And do I really trust this shady guy selling it? In summary, NFTs need to rebrand themselves. At their worst, they are overhyped JPEGs, panic bought like bog roll in the midst of a pandemic. But at their best, they can be fractionalized royalties, partial ownership of a community, or fan tokens that reward loyalty. they've already led to the birth of the phrase full-time fan. It seems that the jury's still out on whether NFTs are a healthy godsend for creators or a can of scam for the individual. Either way, best crack out the marigolds, as these non-flushable turds aren't going away anytime soon.